This is live with Miami's Community News, and I'm Michael Miller. Our guest today is Frank Calderon from the Miami-Dade Solid Waste Department. Frank, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
Okay, let's talk about this necklace you got on here. It says, what does it say? Recycle.
Recycle right.
So let's talk about that
Lanyard.
before we get on the other things.
Sure. All right.
Recycling, we hear that term all the time, and lots of people don't know what to do. So if they need, first of all, tell us about the day and how to do this correctly, and then what people can do.
All right. Yeah. We've tried to simplify it as much as possible because if you go through it and you can't recycle this, you can't recycle that, and it can get complicated. So we've limited originally the simple five, but we added a couple of items. So basically, paper, cardboard, cartons like milk cartons, juice cartons, or even broth cartons are fine. Whether they have the little plastic cap or whether they're the old cartons that you just have to like unfold to open up. Bottles, which can be plastic or glass. And by the way, the plastic, pretty much the only type of plastic we accept, with minor exception of a couple of items, but pretty much the only plastic we accept are plastic bottles and then cans, which can be either beverage cans or food cans. So as long as you have those items, you're good. With the cardboard, we started accepting pizza boxes as long as they are lightly soiled. That's the key phrase there. Not too greasy. A little bit of grease spots is fine, but not too greasy. And we also, with plastic, we also made the exception on yogurt and butter cups.
So frequently people ask me, what about these plastic bags I get from the big box stores and the drugstores? Tell us about that.
Well, the answer on that, whether they can be recycled, is yes and no, which is confusing. No in our program, so do not place them in the blue carts, in our blue recycling carts. But yes, can they be recycled? Yes. We can't accept them in our program because our program uses machines to separate. And what happens with the plastic bags, they wrap up in the machinery. Instead of being recycled, they end up being wrapped up in the machinery. But there are places where they can be recycled. Some retail stores, check the next time you go to grocery shopping, for example. Your grocery store may accept plastic bags for recycling, but always check.
There are some locations throughout the country that do accept them. So if somebody moves down here to Miami-Dade County, they go, listen, back home, wherever that was, we used to be able to take those bags and put them. But that's because of the vendors, the people that are buying the stuff.
And how they manage, how they handle it, how they process it and separate it. That's
so for down here, it's not, but you can go back to those
grocery stores. A lot of them take them.
And you see the cans out front. So I did have the opportunity to put out my blue cart the other day. I guess it was the wrong day because the guys who work at the yard brought it back in at the end of the day. So if somebody wants to know what days are recycled, because it's not the same as the green carts. So tell us about what days, where they go to find that.
They can call 311 or they can visit our website, miamidade.gov/solidwaste.
And that's picked up 2 times a month.
Yes, once every other week.
And so lots of times people say, I don't understand. Why is it different? Why isn't it on the same day? Tell us about that.
Well, we generally, when we first started the program, we tried to be on the same day for garbage, or at least one of the garbage days. That's going to be changing for some of our customers, and it actually has already for some customers that we've added onto the system new recently. Like, for example, we added Sweetwater a couple of years ago, and just because of the way routes work and all that, they were put on a day where they were it was not their garbage collection day.
Do most people that have the green cards also have the blue cards?
If they are our customer, yes, pretty much all of them. What you'll have is there are some municipalities where we handle only the recycling, where the municipality picks up the garbage. So they have, it may not even be green, they have their own colored cart for garbage, and then they have the blue cart for recycling with a county logo because we pick up their recycling through our contractors.
Frank, has the county ever said, listen, out of all the blue carts that are out there, during the month, what percentage of those blue carts actually have stuff in them that are picked up? Do you have any idea?
Oh, that I don't know.
I just have the sense that we need to be revitalized and people get it back into their brains instead of just automatically putting it into the green card because it's a little bit easier. I suspect. And I think that maybe something can come up, all right, that people will be reminded. What we did to do our share, besides with the blue card, is that Susan and I decided we're going to reduce our waste because we know we can't eliminate it unless we're going to shoot it into space. Well, we're already doing that, all right? And it's the one that we chose is it's about 3 feet high. looks like an air filter. There's a bucket in it with some stuff, mechanisms, and we put the leftover food, including, I might add, chicken bones, all right? And it dehydrates it. Does not smell. It does not. Does not. We have the timer to go off early in the morning, 1 to 3 o'clock, and then we get a notification when it's time to empty it.
Wow.
And it says it'll hold a maximum of 10 pounds, so they just keep sending, you need to empty it. So I just take the bucket, all right, and I take it and I put in some bushes out front.
And this is the composting bin that you guys have. It's an indoor one.
Indoor one. It's great. The county can help people participate with some outside composting. Tell us about that.
We do have a home composting program. It's a partnership between ourselves, the parks, the library department. Parks is involved in some degree. I don't remember how much. I think we do, because we do some of the work. Some of the workshops are done at maybe one of the parks. I'm not 100% sure. So I don't want to throw them under the bus or anything, but I believe that they also help. And it's with UFIFAS, with the Agricultural Extension Center in South Dade. And what happens is the UFIFAS provides the instructors, master gardeners, that know how to talk about home composting. Then they do these workshops, and the workshops are run through the libraries. I think they do a hybrid mix now. I think during COVID they went from in person to virtual, and I think they're doing a hybrid mix now. I'm not 100% sure. I need to check it. And then what happens where we come in is you complete it successfully. If you are a Miami-Dade County resident, we will give you a free home composting bin. It's not mechanized. It's not electronic or anything, and it's for outdoor use. It actually kind of looks like the like Darth Vader, like big, but it's very useful. It's very good, and we do provide it for free, provided that you complete the course successfully.
And it is a good feeling when you do that. So we're on our second phase, which was green cart, blue cart, composting. And so years ago we had the outdoor one. We couldn't quite figure out how to do it, but there's plenty of support, and they can be around people. They can be able to attend the class, whether it's in Zoom or online, and you get into that. When our kids were little, now they're 35. Anyway, it was great to be able to do that. One of the great things I did, we in the compost pile, and then we used that to create an outside garden. So we planted seeds. Then a week later, I went to the store and I bought a big watermelon, and I put it in I said to the kids, look what happened because the composting. I still humor myself with that. But I understand that some recycling days are going to be changing. All right. Yes. Number one, why is that? And two, what does it mean and to whom?
Well, okay. So we have our recycling program. The old contract was ending.
That was with an outside vendor.
Yes, with the outside vendors. So we had to renew the contracts. We used to have 2 contractors that would pick up recycling. Now we're going to have 3 as of April 1st. As a result of that, we had to rework some of our routes. The good news for those, at least for those who live south of of North Kendall Drive, which is Southwest 88th Street, it's not going to affect anybody south of Southwest 88th Street. It is going to affect people who live north, and not everybody. Some of our customers who live north of Southwest 88th Street, about 119,000. Mostly unincorporated. We're basically going to, at some municipalities, Miami Lakes, Miami Gardens, Opelika, Sweetwater, I believe. Pinecrest has a little sliver just north of Kendall Drive out east by Red Road. And I think it's going to affect just those folks. And what's going to happen though is if you are affected, should be receiving a postcard this week. If not this week, early next week, to let you know that, yes, your recycling day is changing. It's going to have a little calendar. It's going to show you your new recycling days for April and May. By the end of May, we're going to send you a calendar for the rest of the year.
And it's still going to be twice a month.
It will still be twice a month. It's just the day it's going to change. For some people, it's going to be a mix. For some people, it's going to be, it was Tuesday of one week. It's not going to be Tuesday the next week. For other people, it's going to be a totally different day. But we are sending out the postcards. They should start mailing out. They should have started mailing out yesterday, actually. And they should be received in the home by the end of the week. And you can always call, of course, 311 or visit our website we have a link on our website to this county website that's really cool that has GIS stuff, and you can look up all your information, including your recycling day.
So looking down the road, do you think that you'll find some additional vendors, or maybe some of the same ones, are going to be able to start recycling additional things other than what they're currently doing?
That's always a possibility. I don't know how, the contract as written, I don't know all the stipulations for now. And I don't actually even know the length, but I should probably know that. So I'll have to look into it. But so I don't know what, but looking down the road a number of years, maybe a decade or two, yeah, we're always going to look at ways to reduce waste, basically.
We order a lot of stuff for our office from the big places, and we get all these beautiful cardboard boxes, and I just hate to destroy them, right? So we went and got a scissors, battery operated scissors. It seems to be doing okay, so that when we leave it for our guy, it's not going to be so bulky. And so I tell this guy, we just need to reduce it. So just cover it. I mean, cut it and leave it there. And that means that when our guys come and pick it up, right, that they're going to be able to get more stuff into it, and maybe they're going to charge us less. But in the meanwhile, it takes up a lot less space. If
Good.
people's cardboard and stuff gets wet, right, and it's soaking wet, what do you want them to do with it?
Oh, if it's soaking wet, then it should go in the garbage. Unfortunately, soaking wet can't be used. That's why the carts are designed with lids to prevent, especially if we have rains like yesterday, to prevent the items from getting wet so they can be usable.
All right. And if people want to find out more information about the regular trash pickup, all right, and recycling, they can go where?
They can go to our website, miamidade.gov/solid waste. We have information on recycling and waste pickup and all kinds of things.
So solid waste department is pretty big and has completely different divisions. Explain the difference between waste pickup and trash and a bulky waste pickup.
Yeah, so we use the word trash, to basically describe more of the green stuff from the lawns, or dry stuff like maybe old furniture and things like that. Whereas we use waste or garbage to describe stuff coming from inside the house, which could be potentially compostable, for example. And well, the bulky waste pickup differs from other things. Garbage pickup, the typical garbage pickup is the green cart. Truck comes, picks it up with the arms, dumps it in the back of the truck, takes off. Bulky waste is the stuff from your yard. You may have furniture that wouldn't fit in, and we don't want it in the carts, things like that. We allow people to have 2 pickups a year of about 25 cubic yards. A cubic yard is about the size of a washing machine. 25 cubic yards is about a medium-sized truckload. And you set it out. Well, you call first, or you can set the appointment for pickup online. Once you do that, you can set the items out, and then we'll come by and we'll pick it up with a crane truck.
So we know, I hate to say it, hurricane season around the corner. It starts June 1st. This is almost April 1st, April, May. So we have
3 months.
All right. And then we start getting the winds and the more rains, and everybody gets a little nervous. So what should people try to do before the hurricanes are here?
Now is a good time to prepare. Don't wait till the last minute. Bulky waste pickups. Again, our customers have 2 available. If you have not used both of them, if you still have at least one, you can set an appointment now. And if you have, this is the biggest thing, if you have stuff in your yard, if you have a tree with a limb that looks a little hinky, and you need to do something about it because it can fall on your house or your neighbor's house or your car or something, now is the time to take care of it, because there's still 3 months before hurricane season begins. The mad rush of people wanting bulky waste, and we now have appointments. They can only do so many appointments in a day. Once one day is filled up, the next is available. Once that gets filled up, and so on and so forth. So now is the time to do that sort of thing. Stuff in the yard you need to get rid of, can be a problem. Limbs of trees, any vegetation is going to be problematic, any other items that are going to be problematic, now is the time to get rid of it. What happens if you wait till the last minute, till even hurricane season starts, you're going to see some appointments are going to be filling up faster, so there may be a longer lead time. But let's say the event of a storm threatening, you've got all the procrastinators who are doing their stuff, and they're waiting till the last minute. And now guess what? The appointments are going to fill up fast. We're going to see, let's say the storm is supposed to hit I'll throw this out there. There's no such thing as June 31st. I don't want to jinx anything. So let's say the storm is coming June 31st. You're going to find the appointments are going to be, you're not going to have anything till July, for example. And then what do you do? So that's why we do have the TRCs. You can use those, but you probably have to make several trips. Do it now. If you know you've got bulky waste, if you know you got stuff in your yard you got to get rid of, now is the time before the season comes and before we get threatened.
So services that are provided with no additional cost are green card, blue card, bulky waste pickup,
Yes.
use of the TRCs.
Yes.
I know there's something else in there.
The home chemical.
Home chemical.
Which we now have events. We have 2 permanent home chemical centers. We've had them as far back as even before I came to the department. I actually used them as customers a few times. Those are open to all Miami-Dade residents. You do not have to necessarily be a Miami-Dade customer, Miami-Dade solid waste customer to use those. You can take household chemicals like pesticides. If you've got an old can of rusty old can of Raid that you haven't used and you know you're not going to use, that type of thing. Fertilizer, paint is a big item. Pool chemicals, those types of things. If you got old gasoline that's for the lawnmower in a gas can, they'll take that. Used motor oil, they'll take that. We have the 2 centers. One is in West Dade in Doral. The other one is in South Dade. And what we started doing a couple of years ago now is we realized that those centers are not going to be super convenient for everybody. So we have a series of events now that go on throughout the year, like one or 2 Saturdays a month, where we actually accept these same type of items at a TRC, different TRCs throughout the county, so that we're in different locations. Just the calendar or the schedule is on our website, miamidade.gov/solidwaste, and you can just wait. What I do is I wait till the one closest to my house we have an event there, and then I take all the stuff I have.
So sometimes people get confused about who's picking up the garbage, but one of the ways they can do is go out front, look at the green can.
If it has a white county logo on it, imprinted, the county sled logo that says Miami-Dade, then you know it's ours.
If it's not a blue cart and doesn't say Miami-Dade on it, then that recycling
municipality most likely, or private,
by the city or private.
Yeah.
So when you say one of our customers, so if they have a green cart, they're customers.
Yes.
Right? So they could still live within the city and be a customer.
Yeah, there are 10 cities that we provide full service for. So
let's talk about the number of stops that the solid waste department does for the green carts a week or a month. Can you figure that out real quick?
Well, when we do the full service, we have about 340,000 customers on full service, and they stop twice a week. So basically, it's whatever 340 is times 2, 680 times a week. They're providing service to customers.
So that's
680,000 customer touches or customer interactions.
So that's
per week.
Is that 1,300 times 4 for that person, for that driver? That is a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge number. People want to know what happens to the recycling stuff that's in the cart, and then what happens to what stuff in the green cart goes into the truck, and what happens next.
Well, the good thing is with the recycling, for sure it gets recycled. Waste Management Inc. Is our vendor, our contractor on like the processing and sale of materials, and they've been able to, weather the COVID and still be able to sell the materials. So so all the plastic bottles, the cans, all of that gets recycled. If it's in our program and you recycle correctly, it'll get recycled. The garbage now, because of the waste energy facility, the fire that we had there, most of it's going to go. Some of it's going to go to our landfills, but a lot of it's going to contracted landfills, which include in Okeechobee County, and also the Medley landfill.
So a new term I've just discovered today is what can we do to reduce our waste? So on their food products, get involved in some sort of composting. So that's not going to go into the ground anywhere. It's not going to get recycled. So they could have that, if you will, their own recycling thing on the property to use it for good use, because that food has nutrients in it.
And
you
your
can put more plants in it.
If you have nice plants, they can use the nutrition.
And it feels good to do that. I didn't know the impact it would have on me when I was sort of
Less
upset.
garbage,
Yes.
less garbage in the green cart.
Yes. And so as I explained earlier, I'm cutting, washing the strawberries and taking the leaves and put in there. We put in everything. Everything that's over chicken and whatever meat it is and vegetables, we just put it right in there. And so it's an interesting thing that when we would take that and we would put it into our plastic bag, underneath the sink, if you will, it would be there for 2 or 3 days before it got filled up. That's why our kitchen actually smells better now, because it goes
There
into
you
the
go.
sealed thing, the food's in there, right? And it's really miraculous. As I said earlier, it dehydrates the food, gets rid of the smell, and then it does something else. I don't know exactly what it is, but I was looking at it when I dumped it out yesterday. It was all soft like mulch, right? And you just put it
There you
down.
go.
It's very, very good. And everybody's got them everywhere. Everybody can figure out what works, especially if you have kids or grandkids. We want them to
learn this, get to
learn
have
that. So let's talk a little bit about, if we could, who takes care of the beaches with all the trash that's dumped on beaches? We hate to say it like that, but there's still plenty that happens.
That is a good question.
But it's not your department.
No, I believe the county park beaches, like Holliver, I think the Parks Department is responsible for that. Like Holliver and Matheson Hammock, I believe they're responsible for their own, and Crandon, which is also county park. And then of course the municipalities are responsible for the one, like Miami Beach, for example.
So when we were kids, we used to litter all the time. We'd take stuff, throw it out the window.
We didn't think about
Coke cans,
back
right?
then. We didn't know.
If you're smoking cigarettes, you put it out there. You clean out your car, you throw it out the window, right? And if you're lucky, you got stopped by police because maybe it would wake you up. So tell us the difference between littering, that small stuff, and then people dumping their piles of stuff on the road.
Well, okay, if I'm not mistaken, the law regarding that is called the Florida Litter Law, and I think it includes what we consider litter, which is small items, which can be as small as a cigarette butt or the wrapper for a straw, for a soda straw. And then illegal dumping is typically stuff that you'd have to carry in a vehicle, and like you can't just throw it out a window. Like old furniture, mattresses, old appliances, tires are a big illegal dumping item.
When
Things
people
like that.
dump trash on the side of the road, they got to know somebody's taking a picture. At some point.
Nowadays, they have to. The cameras are everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, yesterday I was driving. When I went to my mom's house, she lives in the city of Miami, and I drove past a house in the neighborhood, and there's a big sign, City of Miami, with a picture of a camera, and it says, no illegal dumping, and you're being watched, or something to that effect. I didn't actually read everything, but I kind of got the gist of it just by seeing the little picture of the camera. Cameras are everywhere.
Yeah. And including, and on top of that, the solid waste or the police department have multiple cameras out there. They're camouflage cameras, right?
And police. To note, because yes, it is a crime.
And so there's some folks that sit in front of the screen, and you make their day when you dump the trash, and it can be real time, which means that they can go get you if they're nearby,
right on the spot.
Or if it's a license plate, they'll hunt you down, right?
Yeah.
And one day I did report somebody dumping some stuff, and they actually went to the people's house, right? And the guy admitted that it was his uncle, probably him, all right? And they paid a fine. $250 or $450, all right?
$250 is about what it starts at the beginning, and it can go up.
So we were reading some information a few months ago where the county collected $450,000 in a relatively short period of time, either with fines or in seizing vehicles.
They can seize vehicles, yeah.
Right. So if you got some truck that you really love, all right, don't be dumping that trash out.
Yeah.
And my hat's off to the folks in the horse country, 118th Avenue. We used to get a lot of stuff out there, and it's minimized. And I don't know if that's solid waste, whether it's the local county commissioner, but I'm ever so pleased. And one of the things that I mentioned before is somebody had put a bunch of rocks about this big on the swale on a one-way road, not to the house side, but on the other side. So if you were off the road by this much, you would hit it. So I took a picture. I sent it over to 311. They eventually came and picked it up. Really thrilling, because you could really get hurt. So So if people see some stuff that's not right, they can call 311.
Yes.
They can take a picture. They can send it to them so that when the investigator goes out, they can take a look at it.
We have an app, MDC Solid Waste app. You can take a picture and report illegal dumping through that with the picture.
And if somebody dumps a boat, I don't know how often it happens in your neighborhood, but every once in a while we get these boats, and they seem to be stripped of everything. But sometimes they find the bad guys.
Sometimes they're able to, yeah.
It's really an amazing thing. So let's go over again the TRCs. That's Trash Recycling Center.
Yes.
We have one out by FIU. Where's then the one off of Kendall?
Yes.
Area. Where's some of the other ones in north? If you know?
We have them all the way from up north, northeast, all the way down to, I want to say the farthest south is Moody Drive, which is Southwest 268th Street, I believe. So we have them all over the county, 13 of them. If you are our customer, if you have the green county cart with the county logo on it, then you'll pretty much guarantees that you're a customer. You can use these centers. They will ask for ID, preferably driver's license. They will scan it to make sure that you are indeed our customer, so that we don't get people sneaking in. It has to be, it cannot be commercial. It is only residential. So we advise you, if you happen to have a pickup truck with your business logo on it, don't use that because they'll turn you away. But use like a regular vehicle that doesn't have any commercial markings on it to bring the stuff in, and they'll take it. And you can bring, the yard stuff. You can bring old appliances. You can bring old furniture. You can bring stuff like that. They'll let you bring a small amount of construction demolition, or C&D as we call it, 3 cubic yards, about the size of 3 washing machines, basically under the theory that, you did a DIY project at your house, but definitely not like you're a commercial contractor bringing that in there. That's a no-no.
Okay, we're going to wrap up here. Again, if people have any questions, they call 311 or go to miamidade.gov/solid waste. Frank Calderon, thanks so much for being here. We're going to look at the red camera. Thank you for joining us. Remember, take care of yourselves and your family. Have a good day.